All right. Hi, everybody. I'm Sarah with the Trimble County Public Library. Welcome to our program on organization. Today we have with us Melissa Duckworth. She is a professional home organizer, home stager, and organizer down in Nashville, Tennessee. We're lucky to have her. She's going to help us get our act together and make our homes beautiful places where we actually want to hang out. And I will hand it over to Melissa.
All right. Thank you so much, Sarah. It is the perfect time of year to talk about organizing because we all want to spring clean. And what better way to do some spring cleaning than to empty out your linen closets and clean out under your bathroom sink, which is actually my first organizational project was helping a friend organize under her bathroom sink. And it didn't seem like a big project to me, but to her it seemed daunting. And so that was my first job, was to help her, and we emptied it out. We looked at everything she had under there, took stock of what we were going to need storage items for, bins or caddies, and then purchased those items and put it all back together. And that was long enough ago that I don't even have any pictures. So during my time of helping people get organized and staging, which is really involves a lot of organizing too, trying to get your house looking ship shape to get put on the market, we do a lot of organizing. Some of the biggest areas that I see people struggle with are garage, pantry, linen closet, just your regular clothes closet. And all of those areas, typically what I see people doing is there's all kinds of items just kind of all jumbled and mixed in together. I even had a client once who, she didn't ask me to organize her kitchen. I was organizing her daughter's bedroom. But when I went to find scissors while she was gone and I couldn't ask her where they were, I just started going through drawers in the kitchen, and every single drawer had a multitude of things in it. There was not just a single, this is the silverware drawer, this is the hot pads or anything else. It was every single drawer, even had toys and hairbrushes. And so we ended up organizing the kitchen too. So for some people, it is a very daunting task, and it is hard to get started. In fact, I asked Sarah if she would poll her coworkers to see if there's a certain spot in their homes that really gives them the most trouble to organize. And she said that across the board, everybody said they just don't know how to get started. So I wanted to show you a picture of a project I have right now. And just kind of talk to you about how I'm going to move forward with it. All right, so we can get organized. It is possible. So right now, this is my garage. It is a disaster, is what it looks like. I do have a folding table underneath all that mess, which is holding kind of my staging area, and I'll tell you more about that later. I have got things that are going to Goodwill. I've got things that are going to be sold at a friend's garage sale. I've got things that I just need to find a different place for in the house. And the reason so much stuff is out here, and I was actually so glad Sarah asked me to do this because I knew I would be wrapping up a pretty huge organization project in my own house right before today. I was surprising my 15-year-old son was kind of a catch-all. I have a linen closet, so that closet had all the extra bedding. There was a bookshelf in there that had all of our games. The dresser in there had all of my stationery. It had table linens. The closet also had air mattresses, suitcases. And I had to find a new home for all of it, which has been a challenge. But how I started was just one drawer at a time. And I really didn't have time to do the whole room at once. And so I want to encourage you to know and to be reassured that you don't have to have an entire weekend that you can do your entire house. It's not really feasible, but 20 minutes here and there. So I just started with organizing my stationery, going through, okay, do I even have envelopes for this card anymore? Do I even like this stationery anymore? No, I don't. So I can donate that or whatever. So to get started, as you can see over here, it's a lot of sorting. And sometimes you need to be a little bit ruthless because we can hang on to things that we don't need, like me and my drawer of stationery that I really didn't like so much anymore. Or family Christmas cards, I always order way more than I need. And so then I've got like just 50 in a bag that I didn't send to anyone. So I let myself just recycle them. So before you even get started, you need to be ready to organize. So if it's a project in your house, especially, I recommend having a tidy house because it's going to get messy, going to get really messy as you go through and organize. I always try to have an area set aside where I can, if I'm emptying out a dresser, where I can put everything on this table and I'm not kneeling on the floor for hours while I go through it. I can stand there and look. I always have a trash bag ready. I always have a bin for donations ready. So you have to be organized about even getting ready to organize. That is really key when you get started. So also, I did want to mention, it's easy to just put everything in the donate pile. But I read recently that a Goodwill on the Northeast coast had a $1.2 million trash bill because of all the ridiculous, unusable donations they get. So check the websites of wherever you want to donate things and just make sure they can even take it. Let's see. Oh, I'm not ready for that one yet. So I'm going to stop share mode and we'll come back to that. That's a little bit later. So with smaller projects, like under your bathroom sink or your linen closet, it's a really good idea to just empty the whole thing. And that gives you the opportunity to do some cleaning, wipe down your shelves, maybe put down new shelf liner, vacuum things out. And when you're going through it, if you find, towels that are just kind of old and grimy, you can get rid of those, turn them into rags. Don't donate those to Goodwill if they're old and ratty and you don't want them. Other people aren't going to want them either. So also, when you are like under the bathroom sink, I don't know what all you've got under yours, but I've got a lot of cleaning supplies. And I recently just pulled everything out, had it on the floor, went through it. If a bottle was almost empty, I combined it because I tend to buy the same brand of things. So I would combine it with a new one. And then, so I simplified what I had. And once you get everything emptied with these smaller projects, and I call them smaller projects because I'm comparing them to like doing your garage, which is a really big project for me, as you can see from the picture. But for your smaller projects, what was I going to say? Get it emptied. And once you have it emptied and you've thrown away what you're going to throw away, you have separated what you are going to donate or sell even, then that's when you kind of take stock and say, okay, how big of a caddy do I need? What kind of stackable drawers do I want for hygiene items? But don't go out and buy all your bins and baskets before you've done your sorting, because then you might end up with lots of things that just don't work. And you've got a bin that's full and then all the things next to it that wouldn't even fit in the bin. So that kind of defeats your purpose, right, of getting organized. So you measure first too before you buy your bins and your baskets and your drawers, just to see what's going to fit in your cabinets. One thing too, when I'm organizing, I try to be organized about how I even, beyond the trash, donate, keep, and sell piles. Within those piles, I try to group things together so that I'm constantly mentally taking stock of, okay, I've got 5 red nail polishes. Do I really need 5 red nail polishes? No, I can get rid of those. And when you're grouping things together and staying more organized, even as you're sorting and pulling things out of linen closets and pantries and bathroom cupboards, I don't know about you guys, I tend to have a lot of cosmetics and face lotions that I'm hoping they're the magic cure for wrinkles, and they're not. And so I end up with tons of lotions. And so it's a good time to just go through them, get rid of them. They're not gonna keep you from getting older. You can do that gracefully and in an organized way. So keep things together. So when I'm pulling everything out, it might be jumbled, but as I pull it out, I've got lotions, nail polishes, washcloths, towels, sheets. It's all going in a group as I sort. Then you clean out the linen closet. And one thing, before you start putting it all back, wash it if you need to, but fold everything the same way. And that helps it even look organized. I've got a lovely linen closet picture I'm going to show you in just a minute. And you can see that all the towels are folded the same way. The washcloths are folded the same way. And that just is visually simple and pleasing to look at. I also have a picture of a pantry I'm going to show you in just a minute. So with the pantry, same thing. You don't want cans next to cereal, next to noodles. You want all the cans grouped together, all the noodles grouped together, spices. It's easier to find everything. It's easier when you're cooking to have like items grouped together. And that just helps across the board in any room, right? A lot of it we do naturally. We've got our socks in one drawer, our shirts in another. Although I would say I do that naturally. It may not come naturally to everyone. So if you just shove your socks and shirts and undies all in one drawer, this would be a good time to empty out that drawer. And I reuse, I didn't have this written down, but this is a good tip. I reuse shoe boxes and I slide them in the drawer and put my socks in them, put tights and pantyhose in them. My kids all have shoe boxes in their drawers with their socks and their undies. So that's a nice, cheap, and since nobody sees it, it doesn't really have to be pretty, but if you want it to be pretty, you can go buy something very similar, or you can use a shoebox and get the same result for free, except the cost of the shoes, of course. So I want to go back and talk to you a little bit. So with bigger projects, though, I do want to touch on this really quick. With bigger projects, like with a garage or a pantry, even, that can be a big one. You can't just empty your entire garage. And a lot of people just don't have the time to spend 12 hours organizing their garage, because that's probably what it would take for me. If I was going to go down and organize my garage right now, it would take me probably about 12 hours, I'm guessing. So that's why it's so often really overwhelming to get started, because you can see, oh my gosh, there is so much stuff. How am I going to sort through it? And you can take little baby steps with it. So if you're doing a bigger one, what you can do is, okay, right now or a home office even. So make a to-do list. Okay, for 20 minutes, I'm going to gather up all the papers in my home office. And then tomorrow, I'm going to go through them and see what I need to shred, what I need to file, and what is just garbage that can't be shredded and recycled. So with the garage, you can do the same. Okay, 20 minutes, I'm going to just go through with a trash bag, anything that is garbage, not nice enough to donate, not nice enough to sell, and I don't want to keep it, put it in the trash bag. And a few days of just even 20 minutes of these little baby steps, working on your checklist, you'll make some really big progress. The next day could be, okay, I'm going to go through everything in the garage that I'm going to donate, that I'm not giving to or putting in the garage sale. Everything I'm donating, I am putting in my car and I am going to drive it to Goodwill. So that can be a 20-minute task too, as long as you follow through on driving it down to Goodwill and actually dropping it off. All right, so you can break it down into easy to manage chunks, so it's not quite as overwhelming. Okay, so let's look at some pictures. So this is a bathroom I did, and it was their guest bathroom. So it doesn't have a ton of stuff like we would have in a bathroom that gets used every day. But it does have essentials for guests. As you can see, the stuff that towels and washcloths that their guests would use on a regular basis are out in the open. And then underneath the little curtain, which is super on trend right now, apparently, is a bin with hidden storage with toilet paper, paper towels, the hair dryer, I think, was in there. And up at the top, I think maybe they have, I'm trying to remember, a first aid kit, just the stuff you're not going to need all the time that maybe isn't as pretty, we put in the hidden storage. So we have open storage and closed storage. So the open shelves can be kind of configured to your needs, and then give yourself something to put the uglier things in that you don't need every day. So this bathroom clearly did not have enough storage. The cabinet over the toilet, the drawer was really hard to open and close. Even inside the glass cabinet, there just wasn't enough room. And as you can see underneath, or just even on the floor, there's a box with a hair dryer. There was just nowhere to put anything in this little half bathroom, but it did get a lot of use. And so we had this vanity kind of custom built for this space, and then a sink that was on the top. It was a lovely quartz sink, but it gave a ton of storage. So the things that were used every day, the eyeliner, the makeup brushes, perfume, you can see those things. They're just on the top of this counter, but then everything else that's not used every day was down below in bins and baskets. And I would also like to point out color scheme. So when you organize, it is a really good idea to keep the color scheme the same. So if you need 5 bins, get 5 bins that are the same color, and it will be pleasing to the eye because it will be simple and clean, and it won't be busy. All right, so this was my son's bedroom, and it was a small bedroom, and so everything had to have multi-function. So his bed was actually his dresser. It was a captain's bed, and so the drawers had his clothes, and then these cute little cubbies. The books were in the open parts, and then behind the doors were bins with more toys. Once again, you can even see I kind of grouped the books by color, and it even the books can look organized, can't they? So we kept a consistent color scheme. We organized the books even by color. And we did, of course, through this process, go through his stuff. And before I put anything in a bin in those cubbies, if it was broken, we got rid of it. If it was a toy he didn't play with anymore, we got rid of it. So getting organized is such a good opportunity to clean out what you don't use, but you have to be really honest with yourself about why you're hanging on to things. Sometimes we get a little sentimental and it's hard to let go and move on when the clutter, there are studies that talk about what type of clutter you have and what it usually means about your emotional state. So if you have, I don't remember all of them, but I remembered that if you tend to have things just all over your floor, you usually suffer with depression. So I found that very fascinating as somebody who goes into people's homes and sees all their clutter and tries to help them organize it, and just the emotional relief I see from them as we go through the process. Sometimes, though, it can be so overwhelming you do need help from a friend or a family member. Now, when I organize, I tend to have to organize my own house anyway, without my kids around, because a toy they haven't seen in a year is suddenly the most special thing they've ever had in their lives if they see it in the Goodwill bag. So you also have to be careful about the sentimental people in your family seeing your organization projects. Okay. So as I was saying, there are lots of benefits for being organized. It's easy to find what you want and need. It's easy for everybody to put things away, and you get an emotional lift when things are cleaned out and they have a place. So this was a picture of a pantry just online. I didn't do this, so I don't want to take credit. Leela Burris is the website I got it from. I don't even have a pantry this big. So when you have small spaces, you have to be even smarter about how it's used. But as you can see, she's got her spices on this shoe rack on the back of the door, which I think is super brilliant. She's got her dry goods here. She's got cans up on the top shelf, and drinks at the bottom. So she's got things organized and grouped. Like I was saying earlier, group things, like things together, and that helps it look organized and stay organized. Okay, and here's the linen closet, lovely linen closet. I think one thing that makes this so pretty, first of all, is the color scheme in here. It's just such a relaxing, calming color scheme. I have way more colored towels than that because kids pick what color towels they like. And I'll usually, if we have a new shower curtain, I'll buy a couple new towels to go with it. So we have a lot of colors of towels, but I fold them all the same way. Rows of towels or a pile of towels, washcloths in between, folded in half, and then another stack of towels. And so even though they're all different colors, it still looks organized because they're folded the same way, all the same direction in their neat, tidy stacks. So even though my linen closet, well, it's just a bathroom closet, I don't have just a straight linen closet, isn't as pretty, it's still very possible to be organized. All right. So this is what I would like for my garage to look like. Another benefit, more time for fun, less time searching for things you need. My kids are constantly asking me, Mom, where's the bike pump? Mom, where's this? Where's that? Well, last time I used it, I put it away. But as you could see from that first picture I showed you, not everybody in my family puts things away. So that's a struggle for us. And one of the setbacks for organizing is if you're not consistent about putting stuff back where it goes, like all these nice shoes and roller skates here in this picture, if people don't actually put them on the shelves, then you're going to have a big pile of shoes. If people get down these bins full of things and then don't put them back, very quickly, this lovely picture of an organized garage can be chaos. So it does take dedication and discipline to be organized, because you have to take the couple extra seconds to put things away. And another thing, sometimes you might organize and get all your bins and cubbies and get everything tucked away and it's all put away. And then after a few weeks realize this method of organization does not work for me. I need things to be out where I can see them, where I can grab them real easy. So like in the first bathroom picture I showed, there needs to be a combination usually of open things out where they're easy to get to, and then closed storage where things can be put away. Some people though, like my husband, I'm sitting at his desk right now, it's just all out and it's just all piled. And if I put it all in bins and baskets, it would probably drive him crazy. So you just have to know yourself. If you try to put everything in closed storage, are you going to be willing to take the time to put it back every time you use it? Or are you just going to leave it on the desk and then the desk gets messy again? So you really have to get to know yourself a little bit through the process about what works for you. And if you need it all out, then there's a way to figure that out. If you want it all put away, that's great. It's usually kind of a mix that works best for people. I thought this office was so pretty. I didn't do this one. I have several offices that I have done, but my lighting was just terrible. And so I thought this kind of gives the same vibe, but has better lighting. So the picture is easier to see what's going on. They've got their desk drawers are real handy. It looks like something from IKEA. And then they've got the baskets here with closed storage. This bar here hanging on the wall, though, has cute little metal tins with pens and pencils and things that they're going to need easy access to. Let me think. There was a picture I was going to share and I forgot to get it in my slideshow, but you know what? It's all right. So I have some tips. So when I was doing the surprise bedroom for my son, the first day I started working, because my husband took my son on a camping trip, and so I did have some time to work on it. The first day, I made such a mess of the house because I thought, okay, these table linens, I've got to get in the laundry room. And so I took them to the laundry room, and then I didn't have anywhere for them. So I started reorganizing the laundry room so I could make space for them in the laundry room. And then there were things in the laundry room that had to come out. And you kind of get the picture. It was this landslide of, oh, well, this is going here, but I've got to organize this in order to get them in there. And I looked around the house and went, oh my gosh, Melissa, you know better than this. So it's okay to mess up and take stock of what you're doing and kind of restart. So I would say, don't do it that way. I would do one room at a time. So just if you're doing a whole room, take things out of that room and put them in the room that you're going to put them in. So right now, a lot of stuff is in my garage, as you saw. So I could empty the room. Things that were going to my bedroom, I'm going to try to put extra blankets in my closet somehow, are in a stack in my bedroom. And I'll get to them when I can, instead of taking things into the laundry room and then starting to organize the laundry room. Just take it to the laundry room and then get to it when you can, instead of having 5 organizational projects going on all at once. Just do one room at a time. And I had to remind myself about that. Another reminder is it will look way worse before it gets better, because you just have to pull all the stuff out, right? So don't give up. Do a checklist if you need to. That can help you stay on track. I have a friend who was telling me recently that her kids all have ADHD and they can't organize their rooms for the life of them. So she has to go in and sit with them and say, okay, pick up all your shirts. Okay, you got your shirts picked up. Now pick up your pants. So you can even give yourself simple step-by-step instructions like that, just to stay on task. But when it does get to the point where you have a lot of stuff out, like your linen closet may all be piled on your dining room table or a folding table in your bedroom or something, don't lose heart. You can do it. Clean off those shelves and then start reloading. And it's okay to know that I've got to leave this stuff for a couple days until I can get bins and before you can put them away. So it does take patience and dedication to not give up in the middle of it, because it can be really overwhelming. I had a client whose office we did, and we pulled everything out of her closet because she couldn't even remember what was in the closet. So in order to organize it, we had to take it all out. And we were both kind of standing there with wide eyes like, oh no, what have we gotten ourselves into? This is a disaster. But we made it. We made it. Same steps I've been telling you. We grouped everything together. So we had a big stack of all her files. We had a big stack of all the office supplies she uses, packing supplies, and you just group them, see what you've got, what kind of storage you're going to need for them, and then voila, it's organized. And you end up with a place for everything and everything in its place. So it's doable. I have faith in you. Thank you so much for listening. I hope that I had some helpful tips for you. And I hope you have a great spring and a great time spring cleaning and organizing your home.
Thank you so much, Melissa. You've given us so many wonderful tips. I personally feel convicted about the dozens of types of anti-aging cream. That might be me.
Same.
So I have a task before me. I invite everyone to come in the library. We'll have a display about different types of organizing and home organizational systems. So stop in, take a look, and come and see us. Again, thank you, Melissa, for this wonderful presentation. And hopefully sometime we'll be able to actually have you in the library. That would be lovely.
That would be a lot of fun.
All right. Thank you, everyone.